Friday. We are here in the studio ready to do a print and play to enter us into the weekend. We have a little bit of retro gaming going on. We have some CAD going on. We have a remote control truck down here. We have our old school NES pad. We have a drone over here. We have some first person goggles. We have a GoPro, and we have our 3D printer. So today, we also got some rad vibes, some Friday jams from Julian Avia. Let's pull this up right here. You can go to SoundCloud, Julian_Avia. And I like repping him just because his jams always put me in a good mood. So we are going to do a few things today. Up here on the screen you see prototype version 1 of our CAD. We'll explain what's going on with that. Upper right here we have RC Pro-Am, which was our favorite. Well, shoot, growing up, every game that came out was our favorite, every new one. But we played this a lot. We were, my friends and I raced RC trucks growing up, RC cars like buggies, and we had a little track out in the field by us we used to race on a bunch. So this game and I go way back. So yesterday, if you caught us, we made it to level 10, our first tryout in like 20 years. We set a high score of 79,000, so we're going to try to do that again today, try to beat that, and hopefully we're a little bit better today after some practice. We are also going to get this print CAD that we designed over onto the wall spot, which is, sorry about that, right here behind me. And we're going to get that printing, and we're going to explain on our truck what even the whole project is. So, thank you again for joining us, and let's explain a little bit what I'm doing, and then we'll get into a little bit of RC Pro-Am before we go. So right down here you see, let's move this gamepad. Right down here you see we have this remote control truck, and I think we can, I've got this figured out a little bit better today. And I drive this around just for fun, just goof around in the neighborhood over at the park. What I wanted to do was take my FPV, my first person view camera that I have on my drone, and put it on top of here so I could put my headset on, so this headset right here, so I could put this on and I could control my truck around the neighborhood without having to have line of sight, right? So I would see what the camera sees, and that way I could go behind my house, and I could go behind bushes and trees, and I could still see what's happening through the goggles. So, in doing that, we have over here our drone, so I'm going to hold this up. This is our first-person drone. It is an Inductrix Tiny Whoop, so let me put in Tiny Whoop, and that's a type of, a style of drone for indoor racing. And so this is my little indoor racer that I race here around town. And I thought to myself, well, instead of disassembling the camera and popping it off of the drone, why not make a little carrier for the drone right on top of the truck? And then that way, if I do it just right, I can drive my truck somewhere, and then I can pop this off, drive my truck somewhere, and then I can fly my drone off and go, for example, make a delivery or drop something off or pick something up, and then fly back, see the truck as I'm landing, and then drive my truck back. So, in the utopian world, that's how it would work. First prototype, we know that's probably not how it will work. So we are going to, and what we did was we designed yesterday sort of the beginning of that carrier. And we also wanted to put in our GoPro just to get some really high def shots that we can use later for videos and for YouTube and things. So this won't provide necessarily a live view, but it will capture the whole everything on tape. So capturing the drone like flying off and landing and things like that will be pretty exciting. So again, we're going to build, and on the back of this, we're going to finish that off today, and we're going to add that on before we print this. We want to put back here a place on our stand for our GoPro. And we're gonna guess on about what the height is. You know, we're probably gonna make it in line with this. And we'll see what that looks like. And if it doesn't work or it needs to be different, prototype 2, we'll fix that, right? So that's how we do it here at Multiverse. We learn from our mistakes, growth mindset, and we just figure it out and go from there. So that is today's plan, is to get this GoPro mounted. Now, you know, if the GoPro were up here, or even on the bumper or something, we just wouldn't have the cool view of the drone. So I thought that'd be fun. And, you know, we'll have some sort of latch here that we can servo operate to pull off. This can come off and land, and I think that'd be pretty rad if we could do that. So that is our plan. Now, one of the things that, you know, subconsciously I was probably inspired by was Workhorse UPS truck. There's a not local company, but in the Midwest, a Midwestern company that has been developing this. And it's sort of and here, let me put this up on the screen a little bit bigger. And I'll roll this up here. What it is it is an electric vehicle. That's a delivery vehicle. And of course you can deliver large packages with that. Then the smaller packages can be delivered by the drone into the different neighborhoods as you're driving doing the bigger packages. And even if you move from house to house the truck, the drone will be able to come back and find the truck no matter where it's at. So I thought that would be pretty cool to innovate on and just try to print and do. So here we are down here, and we're going to try that. We're going to print a little landing pad for our drone, and maybe we'll use magnets, maybe we'll use some sort of latch system, maybe we'll use electromagnets, who knows, figure it out. And of course, we'll have that GoPro back in there. Now, up on the screen, I have the design. So this is the design I'm going to use. Right here we have the pad, and of course that's flipped over for printing. And then we have these 2 poles that are going to come down and sit on the body posts. And of course we have to do that in 3 parts because the printer bed is only, as you can see here, this green line. The printer bed is 150 millimeters. So that's all the larger a part can be on our print bed. You cannot see this, maybe if I zoom out. The overall length of the complete project is 324 millimeters, so that definitely won't fit on the print bed. So by splitting it in 3, what we did was we put little holes here, and so we can just like bolt that all together. So that's our first idea that just came to us as we were working yesterday, and we'll see how that prints. We also have a little landing pad here, and that's what will sort of be in the middle to keep everything tied together. So we'll try that. Okay. Now, what I think we want to do is get a little bit of RC Pro-Am in here and play that before we add on the GoPro mount. Because we do want to add the GoPro mount onto the back of this. So again, the back of the truck. And we'll add that, and then we'll get it on the printer and start printing it and get maybe one more game in before we take off, because we got about an hour. So again, thank you for joining us. I hope you're having a chill Friday, easing your way into the weekend. We are going to get a little bit of Pro-Am on, and I mean, should we pause this just so we can get the full... Can you hear that? No. Oh, yes, you can hear it. All right, here we go. So, every time you start this, you essentially start out from 0, which can be a little bit frustrating. Now, of course, we didn't continue yesterday, but there are continues. I believe 2 or 3 of them. So you can continue if you do get out. But getting anything less than 3rd place is pretty much an instant out. We're going to pull our face plus multicam back up here, just in case people coming by want to see what we're up to. Alright, you see down at the bottom of the screen there's the word Nintendo is going to spell out if you can collect it. And we also learned Mario Kart style. You can start to get some weapons in this game to take out the people in front of you. Right there are some missiles we missed. Now, last game, Peach Truck was our definite nemesis. Peach Truck beat us, almost lapped us a few times. We'll see who it is this race. I feel like the AI is always going to pick one truck, one player, one color that's just going to dominate, right? How I missed those turbos, I missed that ladder. At least I got the engine. And I see our buddy Peach there again. Is definitely going to be the one. Now, he's invincible. If I touch him, I'll spin out. And it's... Oh, this is a 3-lapper. I missed that ladder. Shoot. Nice. Alright. Generating some good scores. Got 3 gold trophies in my trophy case. I'll take it. Now, so far we've seen bombs and missiles. And obviously missiles, I think, are much more beneficial because when you're behind people, that's when you want to shoot them, right? Ooh, get that corner, shoot that missile. Yes. Alright. By the photography photo finish there. Alright, here we go. Oh, see, we got both those roll cages, which means one of the enemies was not able to get it. Oh, I think he should have been spun out into a wall there. Maybe the stars are just specifically for points. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, this is a 3-lapper. Got one more here. Oh, is it gonna be our first not win? 2nd place. The old silver egg. Alright. We'll take it. Now, our high score is 79,000 something. So, I saved this save state. So, we'll see. Maybe it's blue card that's going to be my nemesis this round. Oh man, I blew that lead completely. Got 4 little boppers there. Turbos. I'm real wide on my turns. I gotta tighten those up. This is a 4-lapper. Oof. Well, silver lining is I got that roll cage, which is like the invincibility star in Mario. If anyone touches you, they spin out. Ooh. See, and that's what I'm talking about. Look at how Peach they just get super, super, super turbo and super fast and hit everything just right. And I think the AI just cheats when you're not looking, to be honest. You can go back and look at the tape and see how far he got ahead. Ooh. Here we go. This is when it starts to get a little frustrating. Now again, it says out because I'm in 4th place. So if the race ends with me in 4th place, that means I have to use one of my continues. And we're not going to do a continue. We're just going to go into our next round of design. So let's see if I can stave that off for a little bit longer. Get that turbo. This is the last lap. Worst to first. You can do it. Nice. Alright. And everything but my super stickies. I should should be in this course here. This track. Oh man, I guessed the wrong direction. Sloppy steering. Sorry about that. I gotta tighten that up. Tighten that up. Oh, that actually helped him. Don't touch me, Greenie. Let me grab that. Alright, I'm right up with the pack here. See if I can't hold on. Sneak into at least a top 3 finish. Oh yeah, grab my... No. Are you kidding? Oh wait, there's one more lap. I'm so focused I can't look down. See how many laps there are. Shoot. I was so close. I may have done it. So close. Alright. Staying alive. Level 9. Now, last round, we made it to level 10. This is about... things were getting tricky for us here. This is a 4-lapper. Nice. Oh, not nice. You see, I'm already full up on engine pieces, so maybe that might give me a turbo, but I don't think it's going to make me necessarily any faster. Alright, final lap. Here we go, guys. Third, live to see another track. Ooh, 77. So I'm 2,000 off our print and play high score. And we move on to the Range Rovers. Or the Isuzu Troopers, actually. What these look like. Oh, that's right. And this is the course with the track with terrible conditions. There's oil everywhere and water. Oh boy. Gotta stay away from those Invincibles. Oh, I thought I was gonna... Oh, I should have grabbed that. And see, we're talking 2 laps there. That's rough. Alright. Let's see what my score is. We did multi-verse. Gonna do the letter 3. Oh my gosh. Alright. Second behind ourselves by 200 and some points. So we are going to save this as I don't know, 2HS, 2 high scores. Let's save that. Alright. We'll hit start. No, we're not going to continue. We'll let that run out. Because we want to get on to a little bit more designing here. We can get that on the print bed. And then we can get back in here. Alright, so we'll turn our jams back on. Just a notch. Alright, so super fast recap. What we have here is our design for our RC car sort of camera system that we're putting on our car. And it consists of a drone, first-person view camera, right? And a GoPro that we're going to mount on the back as well. The whole point was we wanted a first-person view for our RC truck so we could drive it around the neighborhood and behind the house and stuff, and be able to wear our headset and see the view that our truck has, kind of like a video game. I thought that'd be sweet. And in order to do that, we had to have taken the first-person camera we have off of our drone. So we thought, no, let's just build a landing pad for the drone into this, and that way we can have some sort of system where the drone can actually detach and fly off. So what you see down below is the CAD model. We use Tinkercad, which is a completely free CAD program. I use it for educational purposes only, nothing commercial. It's made by AutoCAD, so a lot of the buttons and concepts and everything transfer over to Fusion 360 and Inventor and on up into the AutoCAD software. So it's a perfect software to get started on and try out 3D design. It sort of uses shapes that you manipulate, and before you know it, I mean, I go to it almost all the time because it's like super fast. And then I'll drop into Fusion if I need to get super technical, right? But this is so far what I think is like the quickest, easiest free CAD software to use. So, what we have in front of you is you can see this 150 down here, right? That 150 is referring to the fact that the print bed, the LulzBot, is only 150 millimeters square. So nothing larger than that can print on the bed. So we couldn't print our whole frame on the bed because it wouldn't fit. That is, and if we can, let's see if we can scroll out here. You can see that is 324 millimeters is the length of the whole piece. So what we're going to do is we are going to print this in 3 pieces, and we're going to use these holes here. I'll flip around to this side. To run a nut and bolt through. We have just a nut and bolt down here, so we'll be able to just run a nut and bolt and just bolt it right up. Boom, easy. So, as you can see, we can hide this, and we can hide this. This part right here, this is our sort of landing pad that you see down here, except it has these holes drilled in it. So same size, the drone will easily be able to fit in there, and it will be able to bolt on to the legs. And so let's bring those back here and let's hide this. Now these legs, I should be able to nest them within each other to print. In fact, we may be able to do something just like that before we export it. And what we can do is we can duplicate this. We can see I don't think that's gonna fit. I don't think that's gonna work. I mean, I suppose if we leave like 1 millimeter between them. No, actually, let's see where this one, let's turn this one invisible. That just might work. Let's turn that back into a solid. Ooh, boy. Alright, and we're gonna move this. Let's undo that real quick. I'm gonna move it straight down. There we go. Okay, so, well, and then we can move this straight back like that. If we export these two as one solid model to Cura for the print, Let's see if that works. Now, that's probably not going to work because we still need to add, what I forgot to do is we need to add on the GoPro mount. Now, this is a threaded tripod mount for a GoPro, and so we can make a sort of stand on the back of that with this size hole. We'll look that up. I think it's 3/4 of an inch, 3/4 nut in bolt. So we need to build that stand on the back, and then at that point we won't be able to nest them. It was a good idea. Good try. If you would have exported those two pieces independently, Kura would have drawn a box around the whole thing, not letting you fit those, L pieces within each other. So you could do it on this and export this as a single piece, and of course then just pull it off the print bed as two pieces. All right. So let us zoom out here a little bit. What we're going to do is we're just going to rewind all of this stuff. One reason Tinkercad is so user-friendly is it just has super undo. I just did 20 steps. All right. So here again is our caddy. Now you'll notice what we found out was the front pins and the back pins are in fact a different distance. And we can pull this up real quick using our calipers. What we can do is we can measure the center point of these pins. Let's turn these on, that would help. The center point of these pins is approximately 111, and the center point of these pins is approximately, well, a little bit longer. Must have zeroed it out. 115. Alright, so these are actually a little shorter than these. These are actually longer, further apart, further distance. So we are going to put the GoPro on the back. So we need to make sure that we're looking at the back here, right? And that should be kind of obvious that these posts are further in than these posts. So the pink is the back. And if it's easy for us to tell, what I usually like to do is bring out the word back. So we're going to pull up just the letter B, and we're going to make sure it is pink, right? And then while we're at it, we can just do the letter F and make sure that is red. And then that way, looking at it, we can see we have front and back. Let me flip this back over to here. All right. Okay, so what we need to do is sort of add a stand on the back. And so what we can measure is the distance of this. So it's just big enough for this. And we'll put that little hole in there that we need to. So again, using our calipers, let's measure. How wide is this? Oh boy. I think our battery is about toast. It keeps resetting on us. So I'm sure this battery is. Okay. So we are looking at its widest point about, everything's flipped, sorry about that, 32 millimeters. So this, we're gonna measure here about 32 millimeters. And I'm sorry, the camera's reversed. So what we're gonna do is pull out a little landing pad over here on our Tinkercad. We're gonna go back up to these basic shapes, and we're gonna pull out, and we need to make at least 32 millimeter pad for this GoPro, right? And then we can put that hole in there. So let me zoom in here. And again, it doesn't need to be very tall, right? We want to have some thickness, but let's look and see how thick our legs are here. And we can't get the exact measurement, but I'm guessing they're somewhere around 8 millimeters. All right, so we can make this 8 millimeters thick. Why not? Let's keep things consistent with our design. And we said it was 32 millimeters. And actually, let's go the other distance, not that it matters. All right, it has to be at least 32, and so we'll go 32 by 32. There we go. So now that circle will go perfectly on there, right? The circle of the GoPro will fit perfectly on that pad. And, you know, say we add another millimeter or two, that's just a longer print time. So let's just go with this and see what happens. Now, what we can look up is tripod, bolt size, right? Or thread. So
whoa, okay.
1/4 1/4 is the, you know, universal tripod screw. So every single tripod that's made, the one we're using here, it all has, thank God, the same screw bolt size. That way, if you buy a tripod anywhere and any camera anywhere, you always know it's going to fit. That's the beauty of standards. So, what we can see right here is screw thread. And so at some point in history, it looks like I don't know. Some point in history, everyone got together and said, this is crazy. We all have different ways of attaching it. Let's all settle on one, and that's what it is. 1/4 20 UNC. Okay. Now, 1/4 20th UNC. What we need to find out is, like, what is that in millimeters, right? That's what we want. Like, how wide is that? So 1/4 20th UNC. Oh boy. Right here. What does that mean? Diameter? Oh boy. I'm getting lost in this. Tapping drill size. Okay, 1/4 20 UNC. Right here. Major diameter 6.35. Awesome. That's what we needed. So we know if we make this, we can use a washer. If we make this 7 millimeters, by the time the 3D printer prints it, and it'll be fine. So we're gonna make this whole 7 millimeters. So let's go back to our CAD. Now we're gonna save this. We can get rid of everything but that one. So 7. So here is our square. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna line this up right here, right? And we want it to attach to there. So let's pull this out 1 more millimeter. Let's make this 34 this direction. That way we can bury it in here. And what I like to do sometimes is make this a hole. And then we can, like, zoom up a little, right? And just check this out. Okay. And so let's put it into there 1 millimeter. Perfect. And then what we need to do is extend this out over to here. So let's pull this, and it doesn't really matter. It can just be somewhere into that, right? Whatever. Okay. Now what we need to do is we need to take our hole here We were going to make this 7 millimeters by 7 millimeters. All right. And we want to align these two so they're centered. And let's just center it in the middle as well. There we have it. And now what we're going to do is we're going to combine our hole. And I went kind of fast, and I'm sorry about that. But what I used up here was this align tool. And if you choose 2 parts, you can say align them so you know it's perfectly centered. And you can choose vertical, horizontal, Z, Y, X. You can choose different axes to align when you get down to it. So what I just did was aligned that so that hole is right in the middle, so our GoPro can fit right in the middle. Now, a GoPro, as you know, is offset. The center of the lens is offset from the center of the hole. So if we were doing this just right, and why not, let's shift our GoPro over a little bit so this is actually in the center of the truck, right? So if we think about this, this is going upside down, right? And so if we're in the middle, we would want to shift it. Looking from behind, we would want to shift it to the right. So again, this is looking from behind. So we're going to move it to the right. Now, if we want to figure out what that is, what we could do is use some blue tape. Kind of. Oh, you know what? I'm probably annoying everyone. I need to listen to this more often, because what I'm realizing right now is you've probably been listening to the sound of Julian Avia along with the sound of RC Pro, and that probably was driving me crazy. Okay, so I'm going to take a piece of blue tape and I'm going to go straight down from the center of the lens, and then we're going to measure what that distance is, right? So here is, and we're going to measure using my calipers. What is the distance? And I would say that's about 15 millimeters. So we're going to move that to the right, 15 millimeters. Okay. I just want to kind of, whoops, let's undo that. We also kind of want to take this and sort of bury it so it goes all the way through. All right. Now we're just going to look at it right here, and we can just go 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. Let's try it. See what happens. All right, and if we look underneath, that goes all the way through, so we're like punching a hole through that. So we're going to take this, and we're going to take this, and we are going to go up here and say group. And now that's got that hole punched there. All right, we're going to click on this and turn it back into a solid. Let's zoom out a little bit. And now we're going to take our little shelf here and we're going to combine it to make it part of this whole back thing. So we're going to take that, plus that. And again, they're the same height. Everything should look good. So again, we're going to click on that and then hold shift and click on our legs. So group those together. And again, let's keep that purple color. All right, and there we go. So technically, that is what this back piece will look like. It's going to bolt on to this landing pad, and then that's what the front piece is going to look like. So that's pretty cool. So now what we need to do is we need to export these as 3 different pieces. 1, 2, 3. And at that point, we can load up the first one. We may be able to get the landing pad and one of these legs on at the same time. We'll see. But we won't be able to get both legs on at the same time. So we'll load those up and see what happens. We'll get the LOLs bot fired up here. And we'll do another thing of RC Pro-Am. And then we'll go from there. All right, so thank you again for joining us here at Multiverse. This is our studio. We do a bunch of 3D printing, design, fabrication, all sorts of things here. So we're busy every day. We like to share with you every now and then a little bit of fun when we play some games. Why not make some things and teach some things along the way, right? So that's what we do for a couple hours a day. You can join us usually right after lunch till about 3 o'clock. And right now our series is called Print and Play, where we're playing a game that kind of has something to do with what we're 3D printing. Today we're designing our own frame for this remote control truck that has a first-person view drone, and it has a GoPro. And again, I'll be able to wear my helmet, and I'll be able to look into the first-person view of the camera as I drive the truck around. And then if we're lucky, we're going to make a servo-actuated clip that comes down so the drone can fly off, make a delivery, complete a mission, do what we need to do, have some fun, and then fly back. So in a dream world, that's how it'll work. We're going to print our first prototype and see where it goes from there. So thank you again for joining us. I'm going to circle the live cam over here, the one I just bumped, because tripods are always in the way. And we're going to get our LOLs bot all fired up and ready here so we can start to print this first prototype of our RC truck drone GoPro cradle stand landing pad. All right, so I'm going to pull up this is called RC camera mounts. All right, what I'm going to do is get out of here so it's saved. Okay, I'm going to swing over here to our 3D printer, so let's pull this up nice and big. And again, our 3D printer is a LOLs bot. It is controlled by a MacBook running software called Cura. Oh, sorry about that. Let's bite down a notch. Okay. So what we're going to do with this is we are going to delete our last print, which was our winglet from our Destiny Print and Play. So you can go back on our Twitch or YouTube channel. We are about 6 parts into Destiny 2 Print and Play, where we're making a ghost nightlight. That is being painted right now, so we're waiting for the paint to dry so we can go back and do some of that. So in the meantime, that's why we're doing this, is a little bit of fun. So I'm going to delete that winglet. We're going to go up here. And again, we're just going to print this in standard. We don't need anything too crazy. And we're just going to download it real quick on this laptop. Okay. It'll probably be just as easy or just as quick to run, you know, Google Drive or some sort of Dropbox or something. I assume it probably all takes about the same amount of time. So this is just as easy for me. And we're going to download it and put it. So let's fire up our printer. So we're going to fire up that LOLs bot, and here I can bring this back a little bit, get a little bit better view of what we're doing here. And I'm going to open these RC camera mounts. This is pretty basic geometry, just a few cubes. Probably the craziest is the curvature of those posts. So we'll see how long this all takes to load up and get together. Okay. We'll zoom out a little bit on this. You should see the model again over here on your screen. And here we have what we can see are a few little artifacts. So before we do something too crazy, let's make sure we're saved out of it on this computer. We're just going to close that out. Okay, and I forgot we need to get on the... Let's get on this picture again. Oh, when was that written? 2018. Okay. Just pull this up right there. Okay, so there's the delivery drone. We're trying to sort of... we were inspired to buy it, right? So we'll pull that up on the screen. It looks like a couple times we dragged text down. It came out, but it just didn't show up. Okay, so let's export these models over to the Walsbot. So let's start with this leg right here. We're going to export that. We're going to export that as what's called an STL. And that is the type of file, stereolithography, the type of file that our printer likes to use. There's another option for OBJ. OBJ is another 3D type of file. Our printer happens to like STLs. So now we're going to export the front. And we've got the back exported. And then we're going to do this landing pad here. And those are going to be our three main parts. Alright. So, and what we can do, we can quit Google Chrome, because it takes up a ridiculous amount of processor. And let's load up our first one here. So we're going to find that under Recent, RC Camera Mount STL. Oh my gosh. We just made it. All right, I'm going to load it up over there on that screen for you so you can see what I'm looking at, but talk about barely. Okay. We do not need to generate supports. We got 20% infill. There's very little infill. Let's see. Let's prepare this bad boy and see how long it's going to take to print. My guess is 2.5 hours. Ooh, 4.5 hours. Now again, we're using Polymaker, but I don't think we're going to do it in this blue. That's kind of waste of the blue. This is a prototype, so we're going to have to flip that over to white. And then that's its standard printing. Alright, so that's going to be interesting. Alright, so we've done this before. We need to trade out this filament here. So this filament is going to go bye-bye. And we are going to pop in some white filament. Or I think we have black sitting around pretty close, and print that. We're not going to use our nice blue translucent filament for a prototype like this. So let's warm up. Now we're going to hit connect to this. Again, that's just a USB A to B connection, old school printer connection. And we're going to raise the temperature of this hot end here unit to 200 degrees Celsius. And what that'll do is that will melt the filament just enough that we can pull it out and put new stuff in and clean it into the new color. So I'm going to go grab that filament. Give me a hot second here, and we'll be right back. Alright, so we have white filament. Again, this is inland PLA, white filament. So we're going to throw some of that into the 3D printer. It's at 133 degrees. And if we want, we'll kind of bring this up and look and see what we're doing here. So again, the filament comes off this spool, and it goes down into here, which then shoots out of that tip down at the bottom, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to pop this open and pull this out, and there it is. So it's completely out. That's good. Let's put this back. And again, what I like to do is just kind of feed this through so it doesn't come back on itself. All right. Set that here, and we'll put the new filament back up. And now we're at 200, so that was a great time anyways. So here is the new filament. This is white PLA. It's got a perfectly good tip on it. So we're gonna feed that. And again, let me show you what I'm doing. So I'm taking this. See, there's a hole down in there. So I'm feeding that and pushing that down in, right? And then what I can do is I can kind of push on that, and you'll see that translucent blue come out, and you'll see it start to turn into that white. All right. And then I'm going to lock this up. And over here on the computer, I'm going to do a function called extrude. All right. And extrude is going to push some of that through, so we make sure it's all white and there's none of that blue left over. So I'm going to hit extrude, and if we can see a little bit of a close-up, it's just going to keep pushing that out. In fact, there's a big glob that already came out. And so as far as I can tell, it's like 100% blue pretty much already. I mean white. So I think we got a lot of that out already, which is awesome. So I'm gonna put that back here. All right, I'm gonna just take my hand and just kind of grab that for now. Get rid of that. We'll clean that again before we go. And I'm gonna go ahead and hit Start Print. Okay, so now it's gonna go through its sort of calibration process. And what I have here is a little bit of isopropyl alcohol to clean off that bed. Okay. And then while we're at it, we're going to want to pull off any excess plastic and make sure the nozzle tip is completely free of any garbage as well. All right, so I think we are set. Now, while it's going through its calibration process, let me see if I can get a better sort of picture of what's happening here. Move that up a little bit. Maybe I can 2x that. See the gear spinning. Some of that right there. Okay, So what's happening right now is it's calibrating and it's making sure it has a level bed to print on. So when it's doing its print, it's completely level. What I wanted to show real quick on the big screen is what it looks like to load up that piece. And so let's hop back into Tinkercad. Let's go back into our camera mounts. Let's pop it up on the big screen here. Ooh. Sorry about that. Let's try to get that a little more even for us. Okay. In fact, we should be able to do something a little like that. I think that'd be a little more fun view here. So let's square that in. All right, so we're gonna watch this first set of prints go. What I'm gonna do real quick is I'm going to export this piece as an STL. We're gonna pull that over onto Kara. So we're gonna pull this down. I'm gonna full screen this real quick. And I'm gonna pop this right here. All right, here we go. Let's check out this first. Now again, we know from previous sessions that what it does is it starts by going and doing the full outline around the whole piece. And that's just to get the flow going, to make sure the nozzle's getting spit out. Everything's just, I prefer it because it kind of, if we started printing right now, as you can see, there's no material coming out, right? It's, for whatever reason, the Lulzbot with the G code and it just takes a second. I don't know, I'm probably doing something wrong. But eventually, it'll look great. Well, we've got to stop that. As you can see, it's just a big mess. So, look what happened. As you can see, it's just a stupid, melted, janky mess. Alright. And we're going to try this again, obviously. I'm just going to turn it off and then turn it back on again. And so we're going to go back here. Let's try that again. Now, we did clean our print bed very, very well, I thought. Maybe we didn't scrub hard enough. I don't think we did, because I just scrubbed some stuff off of that. So let's try this again. Let's put a little bit of elbow grease into this. maybe our pad is starting to wear out. We can switch it up with a new one if that's the case. But I am getting a bunch of like kind of residue as I'm pressing way harder, so that's probably my fault for that last print. Looks like we got a little tear up here. So we're gonna probably need to replace this PEI sheet any minute anyways. Alright, let's try that. Let's fire this back up and see what we got. And let's make sure our nozzle here is nice and free of garbage too. And as you can see, there's just a big goopy chunk of junk on there. So let's clean that off. Let's get that all cleaned off so we have good calibration. We're just going to leave that hanging until it heats up. Okay. Let's try this again. All right. Who knows? We're going to try this again. I'm going to slice off this extra little bit of All right, try number 2. Let's see what happens here. Let's see if we fare any better with our second try. All right, and again, this is what we're printing. Let's zoom this in and show you. Alright, this is the first part of our camera mount. This is the back part. The part's going to fit on here and go to here. So let's show you this real quick. This is again what we're printing at the moment. So these posts that come up, and we've got a hole back here for our tripod mount for our GoPro. Right, our GoPro tripod mount. And then of course these two holes up here are to connect it to the 3-piece design. So let's head on back to the 3D printer. And we're just finishing up bed calibration here. So we're going to give that a second. And once we have a successful print started, we're going to go back into RC Pro-Am. We're going to try to be level 10, and then we're probably going to go all the way to level 1000. Here we go. Just kidding. I don't know. I know I've been past SUVs before as a kid. There's like little dune buggies. Well, sorry about that. Still having trouble with that top layer. Someone get some scissors real quick. Sorry, bottom layer. That first layer. And hopefully we'll be okay here. Oh boy. There we go. See if I can't cut. Alright, we'll keep our fingers crossed while we play another game of RC Pro-Am. So again, one more time on the screen. Let's pull that up. This is the piece we are printing. It's going to look like that. If we look back at our 3D printer, ish. We'll see when we get home tonight what that looks like. And of course, what we're doing is we're building, actually, it's more like that, a frame system for our remote control truck. It has a drone with a first-person view. It has a GoPro. It's gonna let us do all sorts of new cool stuff with that. So one last time, let's go back to the main screen here. Let's pop down our Cura. We're gonna pause our Julian Avia. We are going to turn our sound back on. So let's enable that puppy. Alright. Now, I wonder, since we loaded it live, if we're going to be able to hear this. Yes, we are. Alright. And away we go. We missed our high score last time by a mere 200 and a bit of change. So we are looking to beat 79,700. 2 times in a row we lost it on stage 10. And that is again when you get the new vehicles. And so it makes it really difficult. There we go. First place. We want to keep that streak going. I think we had 3 races and then we got the silver egg last time. So we're going to try to get the golden egg this time. That's good luck. Alright. And we always like to see which car is going to be our nemesis. For 2 races in a row is this Peach guy right here. It might always be Peach. Maybe I just didn't realize that as a kid. That Peach is always the first 10 levels, the sort of go-to. Oh! And I missed those upgrades. Of course, those upgrade your vehicle to be faster, handle better, higher top speed, spin up that turbo for coming out of those corners. Alright. Oh, and we missed invincibility. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Oh, and it didn't give us that turbo either. That's weak sauce. Alright, let's pop around here. Perfect. Again, this is a 3-lapper. As you get deeper in the game, the tracks tend to have different laps per track. It's not always 2. Oh, and hold on 1 second. We have a phone call. So we're going to... And it's our wife, so we should answer that. We're going to talk Dick Tracy style on our watch. Hey, cutie, how are you? Well, I was doing my stream right now. Are you just finishing up? Yeah, I'll leave in like 5 minutes. I'll meet you at Burns. Yep, I said I was going to be done at 3, so I'm just tying things up. All right. I'll see you soon. I love you. Nope, they're gone. Yeah. Okay, bye, cutes. Bye. Alright, so you heard it here first. We are already 4 minutes behind. We gotta hit it. So let's just... We got about 5 minutes here. So let's see if we can't beat level 10. We'll just make this our last go through here. We were looking for 70. Well, technically, we won about 8. Ooh, made him hit. We won 80,000 points to beat our record. All right. This emulator is getting a little choppy. Oh. Man. All right, I think this is the egg. We need to get the golden egg. Here we go. Roll cages make you invincible. They're essentially the Mario star. And they don't wreck you on impact. They just make the other person spin out. And if they happen to hit a wall, then they'll crash. So it's not like 100%. Dropping bombs. Nice. Oh, they're so unpredictable, especially on turns. There we go. And let's just for good measure. All right, 2,000 points for first place. You gotta love that. A golden egg. You gotta love that. All right. Track 6. Here we go. This is clearly in Seattle. Kind of like track 10. Got oil all over it. This has rain clouds everywhere, even moving rain clouds. There we go. The old speed ahead, drop a bomb move. Oh, I get it. It's whatever, and I think we figured it out. It's whatever weapon you pick up last, or most recent, I'll put it that way, becomes the weapon you're going to shoot. First. Ooh, why is that so hard to stay up there? There we go. Alright, as long as you don't get 4th place, that's how it works. You'll notice it says out above that. If you are in 4th place, and if you get out, you're out. Call it a day. You go back to the pit stop and you try to regroup. Or the pits, where you make the pit stop. Oh. I'm getting lucky, as you saw there's a gate there and it goes up and down. Luckily the last 2 times it's been down. Taking out our competition with some missiles. There we go. Which is totally early Mario Kart style mechanics, you know, it's not turtles and blue shells, but it's the beginning of using your car to shoot the other opponents. Twisted Metal. Ooh, that was a good series. Twisted Metal. Pretty sure I only played the first one. Maybe I played the second one. I think there were 9 of them. Actually, honestly, I think there were 4 or 5 of them. They rebooted it once even, and I don't think it ever stuck. They need to do Twisted Metal Battle Royale, and then problem solved. If they do Twisted Metal Battle Royale, that would be crazy good. Alright. Now this is the 4-lapper. Oof. This is level 8. So we're getting close. Now, those stars are worth, it looks like, a few hundred points apiece, so those are crucial. In fact, just getting 2 more stars last round would have given us our high score. So we put it that way. Push that oil. Alright, now I think there was some on the bottom here. Yep, let's just miss them all while we're at it. Alright, remember top row next time. Ooh, long range snipe with the missile. Look at that Peach! Go back and watch my streams from this print and play. Peach gets this crazy turbo boost every now and then and just laps. And just finishes before you're like even halfway through. It's great. Alright. And it's because the AI... Oh, look at that! It's because the AI knows exactly where every single turbo is. And it just does not miss. Alright, we got lap 4 out of 4 here. Let's try to hold off all of our competition. Some missiles. See if we can't. Alright. Now, this is the track. It's giving us points. We are about 700 points behind. We got to win this race, or at least come in top 3. And man, it's loaded with puddles and oil, and we're crashing and spinning, and man, it's annoying. Oh, there it is. Oh, I don't know how I avoided that. Perfect. That is... You almost... Now again, this is a 2-lapper, so things get heated pretty quick. Let's try to get this... Oh, see, that's more like it. Yes! Alright, never been this far in my adult life. So, the golden slingshot. Here we go, 81,000, the new high score. Oh boy. I have a feeling if you don't get those hop-ups, like, each race, it becomes almost impossible. Because then your car is so much slower, it handles so much worse. Doesn't have the right tires. Alright, this is a 3-lapper. Got 12 missiles. Oh no. It's because he was invincible. There it is, folks. Alright, game over. We are going to put our initials in. Multiverse 83,900. Let's hit end. And there it is. It's official. We need to save this bad boy, so we're going to save state. Save stat as. We are going to call it 3 high score. Badoop. And we out. Alright, I want to thank everyone for tuning in, for checking this out. So you can see over here on the 3D printer, it is plugging away, although looking like garbage on that bottom print. I don't know. This is probably old as time filament. Anyways, until next time, this will be done. We'll print the other pieces. We'll get it mounted down here on our 3D truck. On our truck, our 3D print mounted down here. We'll get our drone flying. I want everyone to have a great weekend. Thank you for tuning in. Happy Friday. I want to say to everyone out there, if you have any questions, let me know. You can get through Twitter, through my website, and just take it easy. All right. Peace out. Have a great night. And until next time from Multiverse Studios.